Good evening everyone and welcome back to RLH. We've got C1 action for you this evening and we have a couple of new faces in the field as well, making a total of 19 drivers on the track. And we'll get a bit of information up and go on someone who's already out on an out lap. We've got a few cars out on the track. We'll get some best lap times of course, so we can see what tyres the top 10 will start their race on. We'll get a track map so we can keep you up to date with all the goings on and any yellow flags, most of which in qualifying tend to be cars getting out of the way, but we'll keep an eye on it. A couple of drivers going out there straight away on the medium tyre, so looking to get their eye in on a harder tyre and perhaps looking to take that into the race. That's providing of course they make it into the top 10. But either way, they're pretty even split so far of those that have gone out on the mediums and the softs. It's a fairly straightforward strategy here, really, if you start in the top 10. It tends to be a one-stop race. As the first few cars come around, we've got just us onto a lap. He's in the pink of Racing Point this week, and once again running as a reserve, not able to commit himself to a full season, although I think he's done most of the races so far, so definitely getting well into the points, and I think he's actually clear at the top of the standings at the moment. Down into turn 1, I think he might have invalidated this lap, perhaps on the final corner, so we're going to try and find somebody else. Who've we got? Prince on an out lap, we've got SCT. The best is, he's moved up from C2 for this evening's race, so he takes a seat in the Haas. And as you can see, yeah, he's one of those that are out there straight away on the medium, and he's got just us ahead of him down the road. So yeah, hopefully shouldn't interfere too much there. And interesting to note actually that just us went straight out there on the softs, so he clearly feels that's the best way to go about it. Obviously he changes his mind having invalidated this first run. Jordan Mason goes straight to the top of the pile on a 103.5, Wesley a 103.9 on mediums for him as well then. As we'll go with Prince Killett, as we know he's on a lap. A little bit scruffy out of turn 2, but he gets away with it. DRS open and down the hill to turn 3. Using all of that entry curb to open up the radius of the corner. Careful on the exit. It's tricky corner, easy to run wide. Straight onto the grass and gravel as well if you do so. As Justice slots in 1/1000th of a second behind Jordan Mason in the Renault. Prince around the last couple of corners now. Again using a lot of entry curb. Track limits could well be an issue here. And yeah, you see that, he's lost his lap right on the final corner. So unfortunately for Prince, he's going to have to go again. Smidnotla goes to the top of the pile on a 103.3. With Ben actually slotting in to second place alongside him with a 103.4. Who can we pick up? Justice has gone again, and he's about to cross the line, so we'll see what he can manage. It's going to be a 103.2 to put him on provisional pole so far. He'll want to try and beat that time, so he doesn't have to carry tyres into the race that have done an extra lap, of course. And Simsy's gone for a bit of a detour. I know he's Austrian and must know the place fairly well, but it's not the direction he wants to be going in. Staying to the right of that white line, of course, as he'll look to come back into the pits. Living Wall across looks like he's invalidated as well. 10K still in the pits. Opic still in the pits. We're going to go with McLeod. And what on earth's happened there? We've got a disqualification as McLeod invalidates on that first corner. We've got a disqualification for Thiago for blocking the pit lane. That's a new one. Not seen that one before. Well, yeah, I'm sure we'll find out pretty soon what the reasoning behind that was. I'm imagining probably some sort of glitch. As Dogarbs comes out of the final corner, goes across the line, puts himself 5th on a 103.4. Short lap, of course, so we'd expect the times to be pretty close tonight, and that's reflected in the first runs. And Kezzo's another one, making his C1 debut tonight, 103.9. Puts him in the ballpark at least. And P9 at the moment. Donkey Dan is still in the pits. We've got a couple, yeah, most of the drivers back in the pits now after their first runs. Some haven't been out at all. We've got a few more coming out straight away. We've got Wesley on an out lap now on the softs, and Jordan Mason in the Ferrari. Donkey Dan gets it. That's interesting. Donkey Dan's just been given a penalty for blocking his teammate in the pit lane. That's, yeah, some bizarre penalties going on so far, unfortunately for some out there. And who were we looking at? We were with Jordan Mason as he comes out of turn 1 on the soft tyres. The red sidewalls matching the red of the Ferrari as he will look to pick out his braking point into turn 2. He's a fraction of a tenth up, just about half a tenth up. Seems to get a good run out of turn 2 as well, so definitely looks competitive in C1 so far, judging by the very early information we're getting, of course. First 8 minutes of qualifying or so. As he comes through the middle of the lap now, these left-handers, one of the few left-handers actually on this track. And again, yeah, maintaining that sort of half-tenth advantage. We'll go back to Wesley and see what's just missed the timing beam for him. Go back to Jordan to finish his lap through the final couple of corners. Hopefully staying on track. Look to just about be within the white line and goes across the line. Doesn't improve. Wesley goes up on a 103.1. Very good lap to put him on provisional pole. 103.1, absolutely dead on the mark there. And with Ahmed, I believe, in the second Williams, currently in P3, so it looks like a good start for Williams if they can maintain that. We'll try and find a little bit of traffic happening there up at turn 2, as they all sort of, I think they're all on out laps. There is a racing point in there, which can only be just us, because we've lost the other one, of course, with that disqualification. Not heard anything from that yet, but just as in the middle of the lap, what's he going to manage as he comes round? And he's invalidated again on the outside there. He was, yeah, third of a second up. Donkey Dan puts it into the 102s, just into the 102s, with a 102.999. As Justus continues around the lap. I'm pretty sure he's invalidated this. So is he going to go again straight away? Looks like it. He's got the DRS open as he comes into turn 1. We'll stay on board. So once again, he's running these tyres for an extra lap. And there's some traffic going on down to turn 3. I think Prince Killer could be on a lap. So Simsy's out there as well in the other McLaren, so not entirely sure which is which. We've got Prince coming through the final corner. He keeps it on. No, he doesn't. Is he invalidated again on the final corner? I'm pretty certain Prince is just as. Wow, that's a lap, isn't it? 102.6 from the new boy McLeod. Straight to the top of the pile in the number 50 Mercedes by the looks of things. So yeah, we've got a bit of a game on here now, haven't we? Justus is coming around to the end of his lap. Once again, an extra lap on these tyres, so he lost a little bit of ultimate performance. But we'll see what he can manage across the line. He's going to come. Is it in the 102s? It is, 102.7. So, for once this season, not quite having things all his own way after the second runs. Who else can we pick up? We've not seen too much of the Renaults so far. We've got Justus on an out lap. We've got Dogarbs finishing his lap, was he? I think. 103.4 currently for him. And Ahmed is invalidated. Dogarbs on a lap now. We'll see if we can follow. We're going to follow Justus for his lap. Showing some promise early in the season. Been a bit unlucky in a few races as well. He's, yeah, definitely a very quick racer. He's into the second sector then. A little bit of traffic ahead. A couple of Red Bulls and his Renault teammate. As we're getting some yellow flags as cars back off now. Got, yeah, Justus in the racing point, just trying to get out of the way. And a little bit of a lock up there from the Renaults, but not getting well out of the way And yeah, got almost a couple of tenths up for Justice, so that could actually gain him quite a lot. There's a lot of cars around that sort of 103.3, 103.4 range. Oh, and massive slide, and he's going to lose the lap with that, and that's a little bit naughty. We don't want to be doing that in the race. We'll pretend we didn't see that for now. Keza on a 103.7 has improved a little bit, and yet to see any sort of meaningful lap from FCT the best. And Living Wall onto what will be his first time lap as well. Prinz still in the pits with no time on the board after a couple of final corner invalidations. So the top four remain unchanged, as Ahmed, I believe, just goes a little bit quicker in P5. So we're getting congested now around the sort of very low 13s, what am I on about? The very low 3s. So again, the Red Bull staying out of the way. Living Wall, we will find a time for him in the not too distant future. And we've got some predictions on the stream. We'll just see if we get a time from Living Wall. He's not set a second sector time yet, so no delta. And someone's gone faster somewhere out there, as we've lost Jordan Mason, what looks like on the exit of turn 1. I think maybe he's dropped it there. Living Wall in the other Ferrari goes P5. Very good lap from him there in the 103.0s. And Sminotla somewhere out there has gone in a 103.0 himself. So times are falling. But yeah, Jordan Mason, I think, must have dropped it on the exit of turn 1. Who can we find that's on a lap? We've got Simsy coming through turn 3. So middle sector, track's clear ahead of him. What can he do about his current 13th place on the grid? He's a fraction up in the middle sector. It might get him a place on Ben, but I'm sure he'll be back out on track as well and probably able to improve a little bit. So Simsy not doing anything spectacular yet. Decent run through the final couple of corners. What can he manage? Across the line. It's a low 103s. Puts him top 10 at the moment. And with 5 minutes remaining then, who is going to be able to take pole position? Is Justice going to get a clean lap in and be able to do a lap on the first lap of the tyres, of course, and get that little bit of extra pace to take pole position? We've got McLeod, I think, coming out on track, or is that Ben? Yeah, Ben coming out on track. McLeod is already on a lap, I believe. Going to come across the line now. Is it going to be any quicker? It is. It's a 102.5. So that lowers the bar that Justice has to go out there and beat. And he's invalidated at the moment. So it doesn't look too good for the Racing Point driver, and I believe your current championship leader. A few times from him this season, and an invalidation again by the looks of things. So yeah, very real risk of that McLaren starting at the back of the grid at the moment. Who have we got on laps? A lot of drivers in the pits. We've got Dogarbs perhaps just finishing one, I think. Again, we seem to have caught him at the end of his lap again, unless he's just started one. No, the ERS looks like he may have just finished his lap. We'll try and catch Oppic. A long-time RLH racer now, Oppic. Been around a fair few seasons, took a short break, but he's back for season 9. And he is a third of a second up in Sector 1. That's good progress. Decent run out of turn 2. Nothing spectacular in terms of big wheel spin or anything. All neat and tidy. See a second sector time for him very soon. Very short lap, we soon get around it. And as long as he can stay on the track there, which he does, he is 4 tenths up. This will put him right in the thick of it, around the sort of P9 area. Should get him well into the top 10, but he's invalidated that. And once again, we see someone being just a little bit naughty on the pit entry. And we'll try and find... I don't think anyone's on a fast lap at the moment. Maybe Keza is. Yeah, he's 10th down by the looks of that. And backs out probably, as long as he's got fuel, can go again on this set of tyres. So, with 2 minutes left, it's all sort of dying down, and we're getting ready for the final runs that will decide the grid for the C1 Austrian Grand Prix. A couple of comments going through. We've got, Eagle Master hoping for a good result for Alpha. We've got the ever-present teammates of Donkey Dan and Tenkate representing them tonight. There's quite a few drivers now out on outlaps. Yep, all charged up and going once again. We'll wait and see what his first sector time is, and then we'll have a look what anyone else is doing out there. The Haas staying well out of the way to the left-hand side. A lot of traffic on the next straight. That's going to be an issue for Keza, as he's just about matched his first sector time so far. It's a good run out of there. Didn't quite use all of the track, but yeah, massive train going on at the bottom of the hill. And we'll try and catch the cars as they come through. I think no, who's the other one? It's Jonathan Cox starting his lap. And we've got Justas behind him as well. We'll try and pick up all the first sector times as they come through and see who's making progress. Got Jonathan Cox then at the moment, the lead Alfa Romeo. He's matched his time. What's Justas done? We didn't get time for that for some reason. That's not very useful. And the two AlphaTauris are the next to cross it, and I think Simsy is right behind one of them as they all sort of jostle for position to try and get a clean lap. Justus is going to come through the middle sector at the moment. McLeod is in the pits, and Justus is invalidated. That's P2 at best for him then, unless he can go again. And again, it'll be another lap of wear on those tyres. Donkey Dan going up by a 10th at the moment. Simsy is in behind Tenko, and yeah, not looking great for him. Wesley is a fraction up. Jonathan Cox returning to the pits. FCT, the best, is 10th up. So yeah, Justas has gone again. We'll try and pick up the drivers as they come across the line. Donkey Dan through the final couple of corners. He's a 10th up. Can he get himself onto the front row? AlphaTauri now out of the final corner. Goes across the line, stays P3. We've got the other one of 10K. Goes P6. And now as they all come across, we've got Wesley, I think, just gone across in P5. Simsy, 10K. We've got Living Wall. Ahmed goes up to P7 on a 103.0. It's so tight around that area. Living Wall, what can he manage? We've got Opik and Noam as well, finishing a lap. Doesn't improve. Living Wall has invalidated. Dogarbs is in the final sector. We've got, is that Ben? Yep, coming around the final corner. We'll be hoping to improve by quite a margin. Goes 13th on 103.1. Dogarbs, I think, is the last man to cross the line. Actually, we've got Justus coming around the final corner, invalidated once again by the looks of things. So he will start P2, and we will catch up on a few of the comments. Yeah, McLeod, new driver, making a big impact already. You can absolutely say that. Straight to pole position on a 102.5. Very, very rapid pace from him. Justus joins him on the front row. Will no doubt be a very serious contender for race victory once again. Sminotla, good position for him. Goes alongside Prince Killer, actually. We missed that one. Big move up the order late on for Prince Killer. Finally got a lap in P4. Lines up on the second row. AlphaTauri for Donkey Dan is P5. Wesley P6. Simsy got himself up there as well. So good final few minutes for McLaren as they go up 4th and 7th. Ahmed P8. The other AlphaTauri P9 with 10K. Living Wall, Jonathan Cox, FCT the best, Ben, Dogarbs, Jordan Mason, Justus, Keza, Opik, and Tiago, who was disqualified, rounds out your 19 drivers. We've got some support for Wesley and Williams, of course, in the comments. Seems to be a popular theme this season that Williams and AlphaTauri tend to have some of the most active fans on the stream. Yeah, Donkey Dan has a penalty. We saw that earlier on for blocking his own teammate in the pit lane, which is interesting. So he will go back 5 places from his, what was it, P3 on the grid? I can't remember what I said myself now. I believe he was up there. Everything happened very quickly in those final couple of minutes. No, Sminotler was. Donkey Down dropped to P5, so yeah, he's going to start P10. And we've got some support for Mercedes in the chat. So obviously getting a little bit jealous of that Williams and AlphaTauri support. We've got some for your pole sitting Mercedes. And I think, yeah, we've seen 3 races of Justice dominance. He's pretty relentless in race conditions. So McLeod has done the first step very well, and he's got 36 more laps to stay ahead of the Racing Point right behind him as we get away on the formation lap. It's looking very cloudy. I have been told that we expect no rain, but you never know. Certainly rather dark out there, and we've got a Renault that is very out of position by the looks of things. Dogarbs, I think, may have dropped it on the exit of turn 1. Thiago lining up at the back. Very unfortunate for him. I'm not entirely sure what happened. I wonder if he dropped it at the pit exit. Can't know for sure by being in control of the car, if he sort of crashed and blocked it that way. Other than that, it would have to be a complete bug, but he's got some work to do, and we will just have a quick look as to what tyres everyone's got fitted. So, as expected, yeah, obviously the top 10 all on their soft tyres from qualifying. Justus has an extra lap on his. Jonathan Cox, Ben Dogarbs, Jordan Mason and Kez are all on the mediums. Thiago is the only one out there on the hards, and then we've even got a couple of soft tyre runners mixed up in amongst those who had free choice. Yeah, Evil Master hoping that AlphaTauri can replicate the C4 result from yesterday, in which they came home with a pretty dominant 1-2 in the end. And as they all line up on the grid, we've got green flag waving, and I'm not sure why, because we've still got a couple of cars lining up at the back, and we've got a very late Red Bull to the party. And yeah, the final rows are just about there, and that green flag will be correct, as yeah, Dogarb's pulling up into position, so he was slightly out of place, but everyone now in their grid spots, and we'll have lights coming on. So the C1 Austrian Grand Prix, when we get some, will be go! Everyone away pretty cleanly. We've got McLeod straight into the lead. Prins already looking racy in behind Justus. Hopefully no contact at turn 1. Oh, and there's already a wing flying. Who's that? Could that be Prins? We'll try and pick that one up. I think everyone's continued pointing in the right direction, but I'm pretty sure I've seen a front wing going there. And we'll try and pick up who that was. Prins possibly dropping back. Yeah, Simsy's got ahead of him. I think we might be seeing a McLaren without a bit of his front wing. McLeod, though, straight out into the lead. And Justus has dropped a position to Sminotler. As the two McLarens getting very racy, we need to see a outward-facing shot, really, as Wesley up the inside now of Prins as well, who doesn't actually look to have any damage. So who was the front wing that got flying out of turn 1? Definitely can't be the lead Mercedes. He's away and gone already, clear of DRS from Sminotler. Justus, I think, has the full complement of elements in his front wing. He does. So who are we seeing without a front wing? Anyone? It looks like everyone's got... Oh! That's Prins! That's Prins! He's spun coming out of the final corner. That corner that proved so much of a problem for him in qualifying. And he's dropped it. And I'm pretty sure, or at least got very close to hitting the pit wall. We've got living wall in, so that was potentially the front wing we saw. It's hard with the timing table as it is to actually keep up with who's doing what. What on earth is going on here? We've still got McLeod leading. I think we've just caught Ben there with a bit of damage as well, so in the other Mercedes not going quite as well. but can try and work out what on earth's going on out there. McLeod leads into lap 3 from Sminotler, just as right on the back of him, and definitely within that DRS zone as it becomes available. Simsy is in P4 from Wesley, so there's some old school names right up the front here, and we've got 10k next Donkey Dan recovering from his penalty already up to P8. Dogarbs has made good progress as well on those mediums. He's P9, Jonathan Cox. We may just have a little bit of a problem there with the stream. Hopefully that's a bizarre one. We'll move on as if nothing's happened. Clearly a little bit downtime there, but anyway, back to the front. Justas has got away from Sminotler while we were having a few technical difficulties there. So the Red Bull drops back to the P3 position he started from, so the top 3 back as they were. Simsy now will be in the DRS of Sminotler, but the Red Bull at the moment still has that lifeline of being in it to Justas, for the moment at least. McLeod has a 1.5 second advantage over the Racing Point and can just breathe for the moment. I'm pretty sure Justas is not going to let him get away. As you can see, at 106.2, fastest lap of the race for the Racing Point. I'm sure this is going to be battles going on all the way down the field. Monaco, we had to string it out a little bit, and yeah, not too many things happening around there, of course, but yeah, here, this is definitely a track that we see action all the while. There's definitely a couple of big stops, a couple of big overtaking opportunities, and of course, it's such a short lap, they get around to those overtaking opportunities very quick on the back of 10k, and might be about to make a move. Just gets squeezed out of track. Sminotler now is right on the back of Justas once again, so using DRS to stick with the Racing Point ahead of him. And Prinz apparently did have damage, and as we saw yesterday in C4, it wasn't showing for the guy that's... Oh, Justas is round! Oh, hopefully no contact there as he lets it run back across the racing line. And he's going to have to, yeah, either edge his way out or wait for half the pack to go through. Massive drama here as Justas drops almost the entire field. Exactly the same as Prinz. Just got too hot out of the final corner, lit the rear up, and went straight to the scene of the accident. Simsy now, though, is in a very good position because he's got DRS to Sminotler, who's lost his provider ahead of him. The Red Bull might have to start thinking about going defensive into turn 3. He's okay for the moment. It's a little bit of a lock-up, shows the pressure he's under. And wow, we're only on lap 5, plenty of action already, as Prinz and Ben are both on hard tyres down the back. Thiago, having started on those tyres, is now up to 15th place, slots in now behind his teammate Justas. And we will continue on. McLeod, though, that's a bit of a lifeline for him, isn't it? 2 second gap now back to Sminotler. Simply throwing it into the penultimate corner there. Definitely getting that rear end around. Hopefully not to the extent that we've seen others do. But DRS open, struggling a little bit for energy. But where's Sminotler? Yeah, he's well up in the 80% for his battery. And yeah, this time though, I think that DRS is just so powerful that we're about to see a move for second place. It might be a move that returns the favour pretty much instantly, because Sminotler with that extra battery power, and he slots back underneath him. Bit of a switchback as they get very close there, but yeah, job done. Sminotler back in P2. All the while that battling is going to help McLeod out the front, looking for his debut win. What a result that would be. 10k is still in P5, so AlphaTauri looking good at the moment. P5 and 7. Solid points on the board there if that stays the same. Dogarbs, though, on those mediums. Two of the guys who start on mediums going wheel to wheel through the middle sector. Jonathan Cox and Dogarbs. Are they both going to get through? Just about. Dogarbs picked... Oh, that was contact there. Dogarbs just continues pointing in the right direction, and he's going to finally take the position. A little bit loose as he comes through there, but for now, he maintains it. Back to the front, we've got Simsy once again. I'm pretty sure we'll be having another look. A couple of penalties out there. We've just seen Dogarbs pick up his, and Jordan Mason has also picked up a 3-second penalty somewhere out there, as Simsy once again makes a identical move for P2, and once again runs a little bit wider than Spinotler, who cuts straight back underneath him as he did on the previous lap. Using his overtake to defend. I think he had the DRS again. To get very close into turn 3. Wesley, a little bit of a lonely race for him so far, although he's now got 10k on the back of him, and we've got a Haas right up the inside as FCT the best takes P5 off of 10k. Simsy is, sticking with Spinotler once again, so we'll probably see a rerun of that into turn 2. This is becoming quite a little battle now, isn't it? For P4, Wesley, FCT the best, and 10k. Donkey Dan not too far behind his teammate as well. And the next sort of battle is, well, it's not really a battle, is it? It's just us coming back through the field. He's already ahead of Keza and Jordan Mason. P12 now. He's got Justus ahead of him. So, yeah, quite a mouthful. Hopefully those two don't spend too much time in close proximity. As Jordan Mason picks up another penalty. Prince still going around the back. Oh, we've got contact up the front. That's Spinotler and Simsy. So it wasn't. Oh, and one of the AlphaTauris, it's all gone to pot down at turn 2. We'll try and get Simsy as he finally manages to recover, but I'm pretty sure there was an AlphaTauri involved in that. And we'll try and pick up which one it was, as Donkey Dan now and Jonathan Cox. I think Donkey Dan had to take avoiding action there from the incident between Spinotler and Simsy. Unfortunately, it was the first time in 2 laps that we'd not been following them. Spinotler, does he have damage? No. Continues on, he's lost a couple of places. Wesley now up into P2, all the while McLeod is, walking away at the front of this one. Mercedes bookending the field as it stands. So, have we got anyone hitting as a result of all that? Doesn't seem to be. Right at the back, looks like he might have lost a bit of his front wing. Into the pits he comes, hopefully gets it slowed down to the speed limit. Seemed to, yep. And he will he get out ahead of his teammate? Probably not, I imagine. Yep, McLeod there, not much to say, doing a brilliant job so far. Wesley under pressure now though for P2 from FCT the best. Getting a little bit of information that 10k might have been involved in that. No, all seems to be on there as far as we can see anyway. But yeah, the race for second place is once again on. It's just 2 different drivers this time. 10k picks up a 3-second time penalty. So yeah, the best versus Wesley. As we come round for another lap, let's just check their energy levels. Pretty similar in the mid-range, as Opic picks up a penalty as well. So penalties could definitely become a factor later on in the race. That was a good run through there. As we say that, Wesley picks up a penalty, which will drop him a couple of positions as it stands. But the Haas going for the outside line, and Wesley has to tuck in behind. He'll get the DRS this time as well. So yeah, FCT the best using his overtake to defend. Wesley doesn't look like he's in a position to take that one back. Spinotler pretty comfortable in P5 at the moment. Opic is up to P6, doing a good job. Donkey Dan under a little bit of pressure now from these two behind that are on the mediums. I wonder if the softs are just starting to become a little too old, especially if they've been sliding up the rear and yeah, attempting overtakes and things like that. Various action that's been taking place so far. Not a million miles away from some pit stops for these soft-tyred runners. As yeah, the top 5 all continue on, top 6 to go into lap 11. Jonathan Cox picks up a time penalty as well, so the field is starting to fill up with black and white flags. This is just about the closest battle on track at the moment. Jonathan Cox, Dergarbs and Donkey Dan. We've got Justus in behind Justus. And that should be a move that's about to be completed. Just about. Renault went a little bit defensive, but it's job done. Providing he can get the drive out of there, he should be able to keep that position. Renault, though, now does have DRS back at him, but I imagine Justus will cover that into line. Nope, doesn't feel the need to. Stays on the racing line. A little bit of a lock-up, but gets it turned in nonetheless and he's back in the top 10. A little bit of a wobble again, so he's not entirely happy with the rear of that Racing Point. As Jonathan Cox looks up the inside of the Renault, the other Renault, of Dogarb's. We'll just take a quick breath before the pit stops start to come in. Wesley is the first one into the pits. As maybe looking for a little bit of an undercut on those around him. I think, was he still in P2 when he pitted? Entirely sure. No, he dropped behind FCT, hadn't he? Yeah. Right, we'll try and take stock. So Racing Point fitting hard tyres. So planning to go to the end on those, of course. And it's now a case of how far back up the field can he get himself. McLeod, though, doing a very good job. 6 seconds clear of the Haas behind him. FCT the best coming in from C2. Doing a fantastic job up in P2 at the moment. And what's going on a little further back? Opic still shadowing Sminotla, as he has done for a couple of laps now. This battle's still raging on the back of Donkey Dan. And yeah, Donkey Dan will pit in the not too distant future, and these two medium runners will like the look of that because they'll get to stretch their legs for a little bit. They're not planning to pit for a good few laps yet. We've got someone in up ahead, Tunkate and Sminotla by the looks of things, yep. So they're pitting at the end of lap 12. Are we going to get an overtake here? I think we are. Donkey Dan might just have to concede this one. He's definitely a very hard racer as they make a little bit of contact coming into turn 2 and a little bit of contact in the rear as well. Hopefully, Opic's just about going to squeeze through there as Dogarbs and Donkey Dan recover. And yeah, he's gained one place and lost another. Jordan Mason's through there as well, in between the both of them. And Justice in the other Renault. Oh, front wing flying off the Renault. Justice has lost a bit of the front wing end fence by the looks of it. Yeah, right front end plate. But Jordan Mason now on the outside of Donkey Dan. That's going to get tight on the outside. Should just about be able to sweep through, and does. So the mediums are definitely starting to have the pace over those that are still running around on the softs. Donkey Dan is pitting. Runs a little bit wide, but did at least make the effort to go to the right hand side of the line. Okay. It's only if you really sweep in from the very outside of the track and then take the pit lane that it becomes an issue. But yeah, as it stands then, what's happening here? Wesley coming up behind his teammate in the Williams. And where's Justice in all of this? He is actually now right behind Sminotla, which, unless the Red Bulls had an issue, puts him in a very decent position once this all pans out. So I wouldn't rule Justice out for a podium quite yet. Tiago now up to P8 on those hard tyres, making a decent effort of his recovery so far after that bizarre qualifying incident. Lockups for both these guys on hard tyres. So just as pitted one lap earlier, of course, so got a little bit of a benefit of being on those fresh tyres. So there are 4 medium runners that are now working their way to the front of the pack as Opic pits ahead. McLeod and FCT the best. P1 and 2 really stretching those softs out now. They're on lap 15 and it's, yeah, as you can see, this pit strategy is very much open for a one-stop. As Opic will come out, where's he going to come out? Behind Justice and I think in front of Donkey Dan. As Donkey Dan, Tenkate picks up the time penalty. Not entirely sure what's going on here with the stream quality. All of a sudden looks bizarre. Just take 2 seconds to look into that.